Do you say things like, I can't draw, or I could never draw? If so, stop! Watch this video, and I'm going to help you begin your journey. First thing you need to know is your brain is lazy. Your eyes are lazy. Insulting, I know, but they want to go through the path of least resistance. So it's like if you say to someone, draw a table, they'll just go, table. If you ask an artist to draw a table, then it's like, oh, I've got to get, and it's a whole involved process. There are things that you see, the artist sees that a normal person, there's things that an artist sees that the person who isn't artistically inclined doesn't see. If you can write your name, you can draw. If you can't write your name, then I think that's probably, before you learn to draw, I think learning to write is important. Start small, start simply. Don't think to yourself, right, I'm going to do an absolute accurate replica of the Sistine Chapel. No. You'll malfunction, you'll explode, your brain will melt, and your pencils will go on fire. What you need to do is start small and start simply. Keep a sketchbook, create a drawing habit, right? It doesn't need to be like me every single day, and I envisage that happening for the rest of my life. What you need to do, start small, be critical, ask for help, ask for advice. If you look at other artists, and I suggest you do, realize that they have practiced and worked hard consistently over time. Okay? That's the important thing. Time and consistent effort equals results. Progress is made over time. Keep going, keep growing. Cool. Just pick a piece of fruit and draw it. And then draw it again the next day. And then draw it again the next day. Draw the same thing a number of times, firstly, because that regularity, that breeds a little bit of familiarity, and you start to see that thing differently. You will start to see genuinely, all right, it's the same thing, it's the same apple, but you'll start to see things that you hadn't seen before. You're starting to train your eye, you're starting to build pathways in your brain that are allowing you to be able to go and draw exactly what you see. Your eyes take in a ridiculous amount of stimuli. Your brain would be overwhelmed if it had to acknowledge and look at all of that stimuli. So it needs to be able to process things, and it needs to be able to ignore things. That's what your brain does. And that's why for some people drawing is hard, because they are not used to seeing things in the way that you need to see them to be able to draw representationally and accurately. If you start speaking to yourself and putting limits on yourself, oh, I could never do that, I could never do that. Think about what that's telling you. Think about the brakes that it's putting on. You start to put brakes on in your life, things don't happen, all right? You stop, you stay. If you have children and they hear you saying, I could never do that, what is that telling them? You're their parent. You're their, oh. If you are saying, I could never, well, that's limiting them. So, don't limit anything. You might not be able to do it yet, but work, consistent practice, effort, and just the mindset of I can, you'll get there. If you'd like to join me on my artistic journey, then why not subscribe? Thank you very much, guys. Have a wonderful day, and whatever you do today, make some art.